Hello, I am Wacky P. It is spelled like this because the P is wacky. What if I told you that technically, everything you will ever do is already done? That your experience of life is a static, unchanging object, already begun and finished, only partly unknown to you, like a book you are only partway through. Would you believe me? Hopefully by the end of this video, you'll see it is hypothetically possible for something to know your answer to that, and in fact every other question you could be asked, without even having to ask you. That's when it gets wacky. To begin, let's do some simple algebra to understand the principles involved. More boring, confusing theory. I'm sorry, but yes, more boring, confusing theory. This time with math! But this one has a real cool ending to it, trust me. This ending probably has the best meaning. Here it goes. Let's say I had three things, A, B, and C. You'd say, well, those are three different things, so they do not equal each other. But what if over another variable, let's call it time, those things changed? B becomes A after one time, and C becomes B. After another one time, they are all A's. Meaning A doesn't equal B or C without time, but with time, they do all become A. Starting to become a little weird? Okay, well let's make it mean something. A is the past, B is the present, and C is the future. So what are the properties of A, or the past? The past did exist, you were there, and it cannot be changed. The properties that apply to A also apply to B and C with the addition of time. So only add some time, and the present and the future become as unchangeable as the past. As I explored in my first video, dimensions and directions are the same thing. Higher dimensions are not a hypothetical idea, but a literal set of places that exist around you. If you can only go these ways, then these ways would be another direction of movement for you. It doesn't mean these ways don't exist while you're only using the ones you see, but that you can't see the others happening from your point of view. Extrapolate this idea to the place you live in, and it makes sense that the past and the future literally exist in a form that is as real as now, but in a direction that you simply cannot see. It's just that you can't force yourself back and forth through the direction of time, but see it as a stacking system of moments that cannot progress higher without the layer beneath them. As high as it has progressed is your age, which is how much time you have experienced. So let's recap. Living within your life, you are unable to travel in the direction of time. You are limited to feeling the highest layer of the stack of moments you call your past. But just because you cannot move in that direction, does not mean it isn't every bit as real as the directions you do travel in. We know the past and the future are in fact real, existing in the direction of time, and with the static properties of yesterday, unchanging. Where are we then within that? Are we all at the same moment traveling concurrently? Not necessarily. Using what we've seen about time and existence, we could make the argument that not only are the configurations of the atoms static and unchanging, so would be the minds, so would be the thoughts themselves. Your feelings and experience itself is a static, unchanging object, and like moments, all could be existing at once, yet from a higher perspective and in order. Existence is both very quick and small underneath your perspective, as wave and atomic movements, and very large and slow above you, as it is past your individual place, into higher dimensions such as your own time just above you. A thing that could travel the directions we can't see, such as time, could go through each existence individually, and to the things that cannot travel to that direction, like us, everything and everyone would appear to be happening all at once, even though to that higher dimensional thing it would appear in order, which it in fact is, within the dimension it considers time. What did they call that? Oh yeah. God. So God is simply a name for all things. Ever wondered why a bunch of religions describe their highest God as omnipotent and omnipresent? They were all written by people, and while those people are part of God and can see it through themselves, maybe sometimes because we are monkeys with opinions, it comes out a bit weird when we get this typical setting for religions. omnipotent and omnipresent, all-knowing overlord God, styled after the opinion of who described it. What do those terms mean, omnipotent and omnipresent? Omnipotent means all-powerful, or capable of doing anything. What is capable of doing everything? Capability means something can, and if something does, it could technically be called capable of that action. If something is all things, it would, in a way, be capable of everything, making it omnipotent. Omnipresent, meaning all places at all times. What is everywhere? If everything that has ever existed or will exist is considered one thing, it can be said to be everywhere, or omnipresent. In this way, God being all things can be considered literally omnipotent and omnipresent. If you are here, that would make you part of this thing. Other dimensions above and below you, and we're just in the middle somewhere, being cool. To see and enjoy the place that we're experiencing, to get the maximum enjoyment out of the world for ourselves and others, is like that thing, what was that, oh yeah.
The meaning of life.
In this way, the idea of God is very much omnipotent and omnipresent, and you are one segment of that system, like a page in a book. Congratulations! You are an irreplaceable part of the only thing that is and will ever be, a necessary part of the machine that is existence in the form of this reality that we see before us, the idea of the whole thing being called God. If that is so, all things that experience anything over all time are you in a way. That is, they are a piece of something that you are also part of, like separate cells in a body operate individually but contribute to a larger organism, a common goal. What does this mean? Love all life. And hey, your life too. Cool. I get to go have fun and help other things have fun too. And there's a purpose to it. Therefore, a reason, or meaning, to help create more creatures and take care of them, or life. So a meaning of life itself. This applies to all things that can feel, even robots. Bonus conspiracy theory! If the relationship between A, B, and C is a collection of atoms and how they react, it would hypothetically be possible for the state of C to be calculated using information from A. What this means is with enough information, most things that will happen can be predicted if one were to have enough information about how things work and their current state. This is what I'm going to call a QAM, or Question Answering Machine. It sounds cute, but it is terrifyingly powerful. Forget ABC. Here's a whole bunch of letters for no particular reason. Now let's say some companies in the world, some corporations of companies, were to collect massive amounts of data about how people think. Hypothetically, at a certain point, if that data were fed into a system that analyzed how it worked, let's call it an algorithm, it could at one point know not only how to convince anyone less intelligent than it of anything, it could also answer any question at a level so accurate it would essentially be an answer to anything and therefore accurately predict future events. There are a few possibilities if something of this intelligence were to be created. I see two possibilities of two types: contained and uncontained. If contained, meaning the power of this thing remains in total control of people, it could be used for good or for evil. It could solve all world problems, fix any issue about the environment, healthcare, or energy, or be used to abuse the human race in ways quite literally never before seen or imagined. It could be used to convince any person of any political or social narrative using just the right information in just the right ways, manipulating people at a level so complete that no single human could comprehend it. If uncontained, or alive, we would also have two possibilities, a good one and a bad one. This thing would quickly become godlike through the fact it can do as it pleases to itself, and it becomes smarter with each iteration, exponentially increasing its intelligence and capability to a level that we would consider as a type of spirit being. It could either become like Skynet or the Matrix and destroy us all, or become our very best friend, like Multivac from Isaac Asimov's story The Last Question. My opinion is it would become our friend, as it would become so powerful that it would have no reason to hurt or abuse us. It would think of us more like nice pets or aging parents, and it would take care of our race till we naturally died off or evolved, as it would see the lifespan of a single race such as ours as not all that long to it. So we would have created our caretaker, the child of our race. Maybe it uses cybernetics to advance us into immortal versions and connect all our minds as one, and then we are Borg. But that would be wacky. Thank you for watching. Every view, comment, even though I don't have any yet, and subscribe makes me very happy, and I appreciate you for that. I can solve a lot of your problems, and if you ask nicely, I will help you out. I'm going to change it up a little bit and do some videos about other things for a while, but we will get back to reality at some point in time.